Hey guys, on this episode today we're going to be doing a little unboxing, but as you can see there's another seat here, so we're not going to be doing this alone. Who's joining us? Well, this legend.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Wow, Scott Crusher's here, guys. Welcome, mate.
Thanks for having me, man. Excited to be here.
Yeah, welcome to the toy room. Like I was saying, little box that we've got, and
Let's do it. What are we opening up?
well, it's right here. Not a very big box, but do you want to tell us why you're here?
Well, I'm here because within this box we have some awesome pieces from a toy line that I've not spoken about much on my channel before. I don't think you guys have either. And that's the good old Australian Gladiators.
There was a time when gods walked the earth, when warriors were heroes. Their battles and conquests became legend. And the legend lives on. This is the hour of the Gladiators.
A toy line that both Scott and I are very passionate for, but the 1995 Gladiators isn't a line that you find around Australia that much at all. It's a hard line to even find any information online. So we were lucky enough to find this for sale, and it was actually Scott who noticed it, reached out and said,
Eagle-eyed on eBay.
yeah, and just, hey Dean, we should probably look at this. And yeah, we scooped it up straight away, and we're going to do a little bit of a draft on it as well. But for today, we'll just open it up, have a look at each of the items that come with it, and just talk about a little bit of memories that we have with the show.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited. I mean, we scooped this up on eBay, I don't know, a few weeks ago now, and I've been excited to get over here and be able to unbox this and go through, because there's some cool stuff in here. Like there's some carded action figures, but there's also some other merch. So interested to have a look. These are things that I've never had in my collection before, that I've never really even seen in most instances. So excited to rip in.
Let's do it, guys.
Alrighty.
All right, guys, let's have a look at what Gladiator stuff we got in this box. Now, as I said, a lot of these items we can't find much history of. Now, I've got a few Gladiator pieces in the collection, including one of the play sets for the toys, but all my figures, minus one, are all loose. So getting these into the collection is just, it's just a fantastic opportunity. So let's dig in and have a look.
Let's start with the figures, because I've not actually seen, you know, with my own eyes, these figures on card before, so I'm excited to have a look.
All right.
So who have we got first?
Start with, we have Tower.
Awesome.
So what's Tower? It's from Newcastle.
Tower, the big man of the team. All 6'5" and 110 kilos of him. He's a gentle giant, but not in this competition.
Yeah, I definitely remember Tower. He was certainly one of the ones that stick in my memory from back in the day. I don't think anyone would say that this is a particularly high quality action figure line. These figures were made by Krona, but from what I understand, from what I've been told, they're just basically repaints of English Gladiator figures. Obviously, the American Gladiators toy line is fairly well known. I don't have any American Gladiators in my collection, but I thought the American ones were a bit bigger.
I do have one of the American Gladiators in my collection, so I'll just do a comparison for you guys, just to show you what they look like loose next to each other.
But it's cool to see these guys on card with their accessories for sure. Alrighty, this is definitely one of the more memorable personalities from the Australian Gladiator series with Vulcan.
Vulcan is the wild man of the team. 29 years old, 115 kilos. He's big and tough. He's not one to mess with. Vulcan takes no prisoners.
This is not a spectator sport.
A figure that doesn't necessarily look a heck of a lot like Vulcan, but again,
Not at all.
he is a repaint of another figure. Like I said, I assume the UK line. But definitely a cool one to have on card. So yeah, Vulcan is awesome.
Yeah, no, and like you said, Scott, all these figures, you'll notice all their body shape, it's identical.
Yeah.
Their head sculpt's the only thing that really changes.
I'm pretty sure the contestants or the contenders, their body sculpt's exactly the same as well, isn't it?
We'll put one of them up as well.
Yeah, so like obviously in reality, the contenders were nowhere near as jacked as the gladiators. I mean, some of them were in good nick for sure, but the gladiators were,
Gladiators.
The gladiators were gladiators, exactly. They were massive, but obviously in the toy line, they're all just the same size. But still really cool and awesome to see some of the actual accessories or play sets on the back of the card as well. So
Yeah,
there we have
nice.
Vulcan.
All right. One that I'm excited for is Commando.
Let the bass kick.
I used to love Commando back in the TV show. I think primarily from his name coming from the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie Commando.
Oh, really? That's
so,
awesome.
I was just drawn to this guy. So Commando is a cold-blooded connoisseur of combat. Wow.
I'm looking forward to reading some of these profiles on these card backs. They're awesome.
So another thing you see, they all primarily come with the same accessories.
Yeah.
So you've got the dueling bat, and some headgear. I wonder why they come with 2 headgear.
Well, I'm assuming they had the full-faced helmet maybe for Gauntlet and possibly... I'm assuming they just had slightly different headgear or slightly different helmets for the different events they competed in. But it's unusual that they come with a dueling stick and 2 different helmets. That's weird. But still very cool to have.
Very cool. Commando.
Alrighty, next up we got one that I certainly remember fondly from watching Gladiators back in the mid-90s with Taipan. This guy was like the man on the rings. I used to love watching Taipan on the rings. So yeah, he's cool. And I mean, there's like a little bit of wear on some of these bubbles. Some of them are, have some dents and dings. I mean, I'm assuming these are just maybe leftover shop stock, but it's still really cool to see these on card. Like I said earlier, first time I've really had these figures carded in my hand before. And in Taipan, we've got Taipan is a samurai, a warrior, philosopher. He's cool and distant, deadly but thoughtful. How about that? I love it.
I love it.
Alrighty, so those are the actual carded figures. We've got some other cool merch as well.
Yeah, so the piece that really grabbed us when we saw this was not just the figures that were in this lot, but there's a whole bunch of other Gladiator merchandise, and it sort of gave us a little, I guess, hint to where these items might have come from. So let's have a look at just a bag that they came with. So the next item in the box that we're excited to get was this cool Gladiators. It's a show bag.
How cool is that? I mean, obviously the show bag has copped some knocks, but that is so cool. And isn't that just emblematic of the fact that in the 90s and the 80s for that matter, you'd go to the Easter show or the Royal Melbourne show, or whatever show you were at, the show bag hall would have show bags for just whatever was hot at the time.
Yeah, so this is from Benson's, the show people. So it's 1995. But as we've been saying throughout the video, you're not able to find too much information online about the Australian Gladiators, particularly the Australian line.
Yeah.
And as we sort of break this down, we're starting to think that all these items came out in show bags, and maybe they never hung on hooks at all.
No.
So,
No, that's right. I mean, the if I remember correctly, the eBay listing did say, it did reference show bag items. So, there's no way to tell for sure if all of these items, the figures and the other merch that we're going to show you guys, if it all came in the show bag or if some of it did and the other items were sourced separately. But I love the idea of just like going to the Easter show or going to the Royal Melbourne show in the mid-90s and just going to the show bag hall and getting an Australian Gladiator show bag with all this cool stuff in it. It sure beats the heck out of like a Birdie Beetle show bag, doesn't it?
well, I do love Birdie Beetle, but
listen, I'm partial to a Birdie Beetle as well. But in terms of like something cool to go home with after a big day at the show,
I definitely, if I knew that was there back in the day, I would have been picking up this. I would have been saying, Mum and Dad, I need Gladiators.
Oh, in 1995, absolutely.
So the rest of the items, they're the kind of merchy items that you find in a show bag. So what do we got, Scott? Let's pick one out and have a look.
Yeah, so first up, I'll just go for the item that's on top here. We've got like I don't know, almost like a little plushy but with a kind of hanging hook. Just a fun little souvenir. It is Tower.
Is it like a little punching bag?
Yeah, it is. It's like a little bot bag or punching bag, stress ball almost. It's weird, but it's awesome, isn't it?
It's fantastic, and it's like pristine.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
For something this old, like.
But it's definitely just the kind of like rack toy that would have been in a show bag. Like I can't imagine this being for sale as like a standalone piece. Maybe, who knows? But very, very cool.
Yeah, no, that's wicked. All right, one nice little item on top is, of course, your Gladiator bum bag.
It wouldn't be a 90s like licensed show bag without something as 90s as a bum bag. That is just awesome. Or a fanny pack or a waist wallet, wherever you're watching this, depending on what you call it. We call it a bum bag, and that's awesome. That is such a cool piece.
That's definitely kid size.
Definitely kid size. Oh, you might be able to get that around your leg or my leg, but
I'm thinking.
Unfortunately, we're not going to Collecticon with that around our waist.
That is fantastic. Look at that thing.
I love that. That is really cool.
And again, just such great quality right now.
And I don't think a kid's been wandering around using that. It seems fairly pristine, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like it's in nice condition, that's for sure. Alrighty, next up, we've got a piece that is definitely very 90s and just fits so well with the Gladiators franchise. We've got like a dumbbell-shaped water bottle. That is so cool. I can totally imagine like in the mid-90s taking this to soccer training or something like that.
I have to admit, when I saw the listing, I did not even see the dumbbell.
Oh, really?
I just saw a water bottle.
Oh, are you serious?
Dang. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. I mean, yeah, I did recognise this as a dumbbell straight away, but just, yeah, just even if it wasn't, even if it was just like your classic old school water bottle with the Gladiators logo on it, would have been cool. But to me, yeah, that dumbbell shape just puts it over the top. So yeah, that's a really cool piece. And again,
nice.
I don't think this has had cordial in it. Seems pretty fresh. So that's a cool piece as well.
Nice and clean. All right, guys. So the next two items we have are still factory sealed, and we're not going to open them. We just don't like opening something that's been kept pristine for 30 years nearly. So the item that we have is one of the inflatable dueling sticks from the event Duel. So you would actually blow this up. You might get, with your brother gets another pack, and you could just use these to belt each other with. So this would have been great fun back in the 90s, playing Gladiator on a Saturday night.
Definitely. I mean, in my house, like if me and my brother got these would have just been like pool toys or something like that. But I do feel like inflatables is such a staple of show bags. Yeah, like so many shows, even warheads, like, you know, like lolly show bags and chocolate show bags often had little inflatable bop hammers and stuff. But an inflatable for like dueling sticks, like Duel being like one of those flagship events of Gladiators, is definitely a cool piece.
Yeah. So
and I'm with you, Dean. Like, it does always seem like a shame to me, and I've spoken about this on my channel plenty. It always seems like a shame to me that something stays sealed for 30 years only for me to just like rip it open and just like stick it on a shelf. So I'm with you, mate. We'll keep those sealed.
Nice.
And last of all, we've got another sealed item, but again, you can clearly see what it is. Just the classic 90s Velcro wallet. I love that.
Can you imagine rocking that back then?
Oh, absolutely, and pulling up to the canteen in year 6 with the Velcro Gladiators wallet. I love it. I love it. That is really cool. And one thing that we notice is a lot of these merchy kind of items are all dated 1996. So possibly, I mean, you would have to assume then that this was a 1996 show bag that featured some of the old toys hanging around from 1995.
Yeah. So I think our theory of this whole show bag is it was all just leftover stock.
Yeah.
That they've just bundled together to sell at Easter shows and other shows like that. So
yeah, to me that definitely makes sense, because it seems like a heck of a lot of value to pack into a show bag to have 4 carded action figures. But if these were just like leftover shop stock, and you know the Gladiators TV show was running its course in 1996, and you got leftover new old stock, it makes sense that you just throw it in a show bag along with some merch. And
I just wonder what it cost back then.
What would you guess?
I know. Oh, what, you're saying I'm getting 4 figures, 5 pieces of merch
in 1996.
1996 at a Easter show or something like that. Oh, 20, 22 bucks.
Do you reckon? I think about half that. I mean,
you reckon?
I could be wrong. I mean, I'm thinking in the 90s. I feel like in the 90s when you go to the Easter show, like the lolly show bags would be like $4, $5, $6. I'm thinking maybe $10, $12, but who knows? If anyone out there happens to know, definitely drop us a comment.
I was putting the price increase of the Easter show on.
Yeah.
40%.
Dude, you go to the Easter show now and your wallet cops are hiding.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking back then, maybe 10, 12, but who knows? It could have been a $20 show bag. Nowadays, I would happily part with $20 for some carded figures and some merch. But that's a really cool little lot. I'm glad we scooped that up.
So there we go, guys. These are all the items that we got in that little box. 1995, 1996 Gladiator merchandise figures. What a fantastic bundle to find. And I have to thank Scott for not only finding it, but reaching out and saying, hey, do you want to go halves and do a draft? We're becoming quite accustomed to buying things together and drafting them out, which just makes it more fun. And hope you guys enjoy it. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to pick the items that we like, and I'll show you. So Scott, thanks for coming on.
No worries at all, mate. Thanks for having me. I mean, when it comes to collecting, it helps to have mates out there, and you all look out for items, and you know what one another collect, and it's more fun, as you said, Dino, to be able to buy these things collectively, draft them out, and just enjoy the hobby together. So I love it, mate. Thank you for having me, and always cool to talk a bit of Gladiators.
Sure is. Definitely is so much fun. So we'll draft them out, and I'll just show you what we each got. So until next time, guys, happy hunting.